hamsters, squirrels.
Louisville, undefeated on the season, a 3.5-point favorite over Cincinnati. A big rivalry, really, between these two cities, these two schools. Chuck Edel, your pick on this game.
This is one of my favorite type of games here. Louisville comes in this game ranked, undefeated. Guys, they've only beat one team this year with a winning record. That was North Carolina, who almost came back to beat Louisville in that game. Meanwhile, Cincinnati also was undefeated last week. They played Toledo. Definitely looking a little bit. In fact, I was on Toledo in that game. They were looking ahead a little bit to this game. How about, the score is deceiving, though. Cincinnati did not give up a touchdown in that game.
No offensive touchdown.
No offensive touchdowns.
Right?
Yep, there was a kickoff return for a touchdown, interception for a touchdown. Cincinnati outgained them 478 to 355. However, a couple obviously, key kickoff return, like I said, the interception return. But this is a Cincinnati team who could run the ball. Good quarterback play, also likes to run, and very good at getting to the quarterback. Bridgewater, a guy who this year there has not been a lot of pressure put on Bridgewater. Cincinnati, 18th in the country here. It's 18 sacks, and they don't allow. On the other hand, they don't allow too many sacks. Very good offensive line here for Cincinnati. I think they get the job done here against a very overrated Louisville team.
The defensive numbers for Cincinnati certainly very good. They give up the pass efficiency against them is a 98, which in college is actually very good. 3.7 yards per carry is all they give up on the ground. So they definitely have the defensive credentials. VR.
Right now, I don't have a strong opinion on this game. The series supports what Chuck's saying, since he's beaten them 4 straight in this series. The only question I have, and I was wondering what you guys thought, since he was undefeated heading into last week's game, now usually as handicappers, we know when a team's season goal has ended, you want to be hesitant about backing them the very next week, because where's their mind? But does Cincy fit into that category? Did they really come into the season thinking
they're still undefeated in conference?
But did they come in thinking we're going to run the table? I don't think so. So I don't think that fits for this team as far as saying, you know what, their season goals up in smoke.
This is different than a Florida State losing and Oklahoma.
That's exactly.
This is Cincinnati. They're going to be happy, like Chris said, if they win the Big East, that's their goal.
So you agree with me, right?
I don't think this is the hangover game. I like that theory, but I don't really feel like this fits. In fact, I really feel they got caught looking ahead in this game.
Now, especially motivated,
yeah. And it's a big game for both teams, obviously.
Chuck, you mentioned the schedule. You look at Louisville. South Florida, they win by 2. South Florida's been a disaster. Pitt's been okay. They beat them. Southern Miss.
They beat them up by 4 or something?
They beat them by 4. Southern Miss been awful. Florida International been awful. Florida International, I think, is 1-6. Actually, I'm on them this week.
And
but they beat them by a touchdown when the quarterback went out before the half for Florida International. Had he not gone out, I don't know if they win that game. So, yeah, they are defeated, yes. And listen, you only play who you play, but the scores are not very impressive.
Yeah, they should have lit those teams up.
They should have lit them up, exactly. If you're talking about probably likely the winner of this game is going to go to a BCS game.
I don't think any professional bettor who creates strong power ratings has Louisville anywhere in their top 15.
Oh, no.
Exactly. Not even in their top 20.
Right. I'd have to go look, but I'd be surprised.
Well, they're not my top 20.
They're at home. They're only -3.
They're not my top 20. I'll tell you that.
And again, this is we talk about this all the time. The polls have them ranked up, which doesn't mean anything to.
I'll take the odds makers ratings over the BCS 9 out of 10 times.
Listen, they have their gig and we have ours.
But there's some times where the odds makers do have an ego and they're not willing to say we were wrong about a team. Oregon State, I think, is a perfect example. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's rushing to put them up higher. Mm-hmm. No one was giving them respect early on.
Yeah. But more often than not,
because they have to back their opinion with cash.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Since he beat Virginia Tech this year, they dominated Pittsburgh to begin the season, and this is.
I agree. You sold me.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you, Chuck. We've talked about it. Let's go ahead and make it official.
Well, if I sold Chris and Vegas runner here, I know you guys will be on Cincinnati too. I like Cincinnati. I just really feel like Louisville, an overrated team, only has beaten one team this year with the winning record. Meanwhile, Cincinnati, a much tougher schedule, has gotten the job done.
I like it, man.
Very good. Very good. I think
I came in on the fence. Louisville was -7 for this game. When you were saying before the season in those game of the years, they were -7.
Yeah.
So for them being the undefeated team, and Cincinnati not getting the respect, and now all of a sudden you're getting them at open 4.5 down to 3.5, that's a telling sign to me as a market reader that you're on the right side.
I have a good friend from Cincinnati, went to the University of Cincinnati. I had dinner at his house the other night. He said it's a huge game for them. Really, this is their biggest rivalry.
This is their season.
This is. Okay, coming up next, we're going to hear again from Chuck Edel. He's going to give us the total on the Arizona Southern Cal game, 65.5.
What a game.
We'll hear what Chuck has to say about that. Once again, you can see all our videos at pregame.tv.